Hello, Libra. How are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing very well, Libra. Let's see how your energies are for this moment. So you can use them to your advantage and see a situation from a new point of view. This reading is general. Take what resonates, and it applies to everyone who has Sun, Ascendant, Moon, or Venus in the sign of Libra. Let's go, Libra. Remember to activate all the bells so you can get notifications for the new videos. If you want, you can follow me on my other TikTok and Instagram accounts where I will be uploading new content. And if you need a personal consultation, you can write to me at the email shown on the screen. I will send you all the information you need. We are going to channel a message for the sign of Libra. Libra? This starts with the Knight of Wands. Libra, the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, and the Five of Swords. Well, Libra, I see that there are decisions to be made in the emotional area. Pay attention to this. Perfect. Sometimes it's about friendships that are exceptionally strong, connected, and deep. Not necessarily about a romantic partner. What's going on? Attention, Libra. It could be that you've met someone. I feel like there's someone here who has awakened, who has sparked your interest, right? This is like starting to open up emotionally to someone. There's a strong connection. There's also a desire to deepen the bond. Like there's a lot of energy. I want to move forward. I move forward. There's passion. There's impulsiveness. That could be it too. There could also be a bit of tension, of impatience, because something here has been ignited. There's intensity, but the thing is this energy. I feel that you might have different visions about something, or that you have different interests in the relationship, for example. Meanwhile, maybe one of you doesn't want anything serious, but there is attraction, right? And the other person might want to have a romantic relationship, right? Maybe a relationship where there is stability, where there is commitment, a long-term relationship. So what I'm saying is I'm not discrediting either of the two options. It's like one person wants one thing, the other wants another. One person is interested in the relationship while the other has a different focus. And it may be that these situations, as you keep talking with this person, start to come to light, like, oh, I've realized this. Either they express it directly, clarify it, or it also has to do with their actions. Isn't it like there's someone who ends up expressing a lot more? Because here you can see there's more desire to express that love, that feeling, that need to. I want this to move forward. No, because I feel someone here may be very much in love, but not deeply. And another part that maybe is more guided by the mind, where they can set a certain kind of distance, or as we've said, has another goal. So on one hand, we're not talking about separation or anything like that here, but you start to notice in certain behaviors, certain boundaries with this person. It could be that this is the case now, and it might change later, but what we're going to see is how this continues. Let's see. A lot of passion, huh? I feel that a lot of passion is awakened in this person. Lots of fire, Libra, 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 but also a lot of love. Libra, lots of affection and tenderness. And a wish to strengthen and deepen this connection with the person. But decisions are coming, Libra. Let's see what else we have or where this situation is heading. We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Devil. Pay attention, a shadow appears there. The Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Swords. Well, pay attention because here the message is a bit clear. Pay attention to attachments, because there's an issue here. Pay attention to what is being idealized or projected onto this person as an ideal love. Let's see. It also depends on how long you've known this person. If you just met this person, did they trigger all this? Give yourself that moment as well to think, to analyze this situation, to see if there's no attachment here, if this isn't a relationship that's more about passion than anything else. How much of these goals that you have with this person or this vision of the future, that is to say, do I really see myself with this person? Do I see myself living with this person? Do I see myself starting a family? Do I see myself as their boyfriend? Do I see myself in a relationship? There is a kind of big ideal vision there, but there's also a shadow here. There's a shadow, and this shadow could be creating, as we said, or distorting that situation. Or is it a relationship where there's more desire, more passion? There's also a fascination with the other person. You also have to see how the other person is behaving. If the other person isn't acting in a way where they just want to seduce, where they want to conquer, where they control the emotional situation, watch out for manipulation, watch out for obsession. I also feel like, look, this person has also shown up, and that's kind of the background of the situation. To work on this, to work on that shadow, to go through that, to separate what is passion and desire that someone can produce from what are feelings and love really. Of course, this can be different for each one of you. Not to create a toxic situation with someone, not to create a kind of chain there, to make things clear from the start before time keeps passing by. I think there's a decision made here because something comes to light, something is seen. We've talked about that decision and this decision. I notice some distancing or detachment to say, well, I don't want to. If what you want is a stable relationship and this person doesn't, and that's clear. Well, I don't want to get into this game, or I'd rather leave things here. This depends on what you want with this person, as long as things are clear. That's kind of the ideal in other cases. This has to do with leaving behind the idea of whether this person or the proposal is a passionate relationship, and it's about letting go of that idea of a relationship. Maybe it's a long-term relationship, or maybe there's another kind of bond between you two. But there's something here, a thought, a vision you had that's left behind, that's coming to an end, so that you can adopt a new vision. But let's see how this has attracted a lot of attention. Let's see how all of this continues. Dear Libra, the thing is that the emotions and feelings this person awakens are very intense. The magnetism is strong, the attraction is very strong, or this person has a very, very, very strong energy. Let's check Libra's general energy and available. Here you have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hermit, we have the Two of Swords, and here we have the Chariot. Well, I see you thinking, yes, Libra, I feel that here you. I say you all, since this could be a mirror reading, and might refer to the other person too. One of you has a goal, a vision, as we've said, of a relationship, not just a relationship, a vision of family, a vision of, I see myself with this person living together, right? It's like you want to move forward toward that ideal, that goal of stability, loyalty, exclusivity, of caring. One of them has that vision. But we see you there questioning a lot, thinking a lot because of this situation that has come up. That's why. Pay attention to this person's attitudes, the things they say, how they express themselves. If there are certain kinds of games, not games of seduction, conquest, or manipulation, pay attention to this as well, because these are things that will start to come to light. And I see that you're going to start questioning them. So, here I see a Libra who is reflecting. There's like an invitation to look inward, to say, well, I have to make a decision. What do I do? Yes or no, what? That's why the energy is so strong. Not in working on the decision, Libra, not falling into that, into the decision, into the doubt, into closing yourself off. Not in not accepting something either, because it could also be that, right? I'll move forward with the relationship because there's energy here to get to know this person and have the experience. But pay attention here to what is being denied, to what is being kept, to what is being hidden. Like saying, well, I'm going to pretend I didn't see anything, or that this person isn't like that. So I feel like it's a situation on an emotional level that might be putting you to the test. To be honest with yourselves, and also to be honest with the other person, to define and have things very clear, especially from the beginning, so there are no misunderstandings later on. Okay, this reading really caught my attention. I'd like you to tell me if this resonated, if there are any Libras who are going through a similar situation. All right, let's go to your advice. Libra, Libra, Libra. You have the number 23? Yes, yes. It tells you that you have excitement for life and want to experience everything. You love change and enthusiasm, and you need both to really feel alive. For you, life is an adventure to be lived to the fullest, and the affirmation it leaves you with is, I am adventurous. Dear Libra, this is what we've seen for all of you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you here next time.